So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, kicks to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a guard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline.
Yeah,
Enough of that shit, guys. Listen, we are here at halftime, guys. The Niners are up 7-3 against the Broncos. The defense is coming out to play their game, but I got a lot of stuff to say. I got a lot of shit to get off my chest. Let's start with you guys, though, before I start ripping and bashing and all that kind of stuff. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Mariah, so far from Jimmy Garoppolo, what are you seeing here? What are you liking? What are you disliking? I got his stats here. Jimmy Garoppolo has finished the half 11 of 17, 135 yards with 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy Garoppolo has been sacked once. Yeah, he's been sacked 1 time. What do you think of what we're seeing from Jimmy Garoppolo so far, whether it be decision-making, play overall, just whatever you think?
Yeah, I feel like this is the same Jimmy Garoppolo that we know. Jimmy's being Jimmy. I feel like the offense has kind of been boring. The run game, like you had said, during the show, Jeff Wilson's getting great yardage per run, but we're going away from the run game. So I don't know. It's kind of odd. It's kind of slow. It's kind of boring. It's kind of Jimmy G-led offense.
Yeah, Tony, she alluded to it there. Jeff Wilson Jr. is averaging 6.9 yards a carry, yet I haven't seen him get any more carries for the last 2 or 3 drives. Did he get hurt and I don't know about it? Like, what's going on? There were some injuries that we had to worry about. Debo looked like he got dinged up, but he came back out there. What the hell is going on? What's happening? Jeff Wilson Jr. is averaging 6.9 yards a carry, and we just completely abandoned the run. What happened?
They're not. He's not hurt. It's just what he's calling, and it's because I don't even know. I told you in the beginning of this friggin' thing, if he goes over 25 passing attempts, this game's over. It's done. Jimmy's not that quarterback. You have to have a balanced attack for Jimmy to win and this offense to succeed, right? Let's look at it real quick. He's got 17 attempts with a whole half to go. A whole half. He's going over 25. That's not good. Rushing attempts, total. We have 12 rushing attempts. That should be opposite. I mean, we should have at least 18 to 20 attempts right now. The way Jeff Wilson was running it, the way the line was getting pushed, and he went away from it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's trying to get Jimmy in a rhythm. I don't know. But you got to take it back to this. People keep saying Jimmy wins, Jimmy wins, Jimmy wins. Throw that fucking excuse out the window because it's bullshit. He ain't winning this game playing like this. I don't care what you say. And if he does, it's because of the defense. Now, is this on Kyle? It could be a little bit on Kyle because of the way he's dialing up these plays. But again, we're right back into penalty situations. 4 penalties this game in 1 half. Last week we had 1 in the whole game, right? Stupid shit like that. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And I'm telling you now, if it wasn't for this defense, the way they were playing, the way they are playing, I think the Niners will be down by 2 scores at least.
I see a lot of people saying, Jeff Wilson Jr. is not really doing that good. He's got the one big 50-yarder. Let me just say this. That's part of how we run the ball. It's a little bit here, a little bit there, big game. A little bit here, a little bit there, big game. It's still not enough for us to justify moving away from the run game. I don't get it. I don't get it, Tony. Like I said, I feel like I'm missing something here, and you're absolutely right. The defense is 100% keeping us in this game. When we doing the preview show, someone said 2 scoring. They said 2 pick sixes, but I changed it to 2 scoring possessions for the defense. It's looking like we're gonna need it, man. What has to change in this second half for us to be successful? Mariah, what do you think? You go first here.
We have to get back to what we do best. Get back to the run. I mean, this is a run-first team, and I mean, we can go back through the first 3 weeks of this season so far. It hasn't looked like it. So we need to get back to the run the ball. Stop letting Jimmy cook. He's not a cooker. Yeah. And defense keep doing what the defense is doing.
Jimmy is no chef. So says Mariah. He can't cook. He can't cook. He can't cook. All right, so I'm gonna pop my man Mike in here. I see him down there also. Let's get Mike in here. Let me read the super chat though really quick. It says, "Fam, can we save the Debo wide back playoff plays for the playoffs? Game 3, and we're using him up the middle for most of his plays. Get him the bubble screens and sweeps, please. Love you guys." Now, this is an interesting question, Mike. I want to get your take on this. I'm going to pop you up to the top screen here. Every time someone runs up the middle, they're going to say Kyle's going to get them hurt. That's like going to be the narrative going forward. How do you feel about the usage of Debo so far throughout this game? The 49ers, Debo has, let me see how many carries here. Debo Samuel has 4 carries for 6 yards. Jeff Wilson has 8 for 55. Should Debo have half the attempts already that Jeff Wilson has? Why or why not? And what do you think about this super chat here? And thank you, Left Coast Mana.
I don't think he should. And more than the number of carries, after that injury he had, to still hand the ball up the middle and all that right afterwards, it's just jarring to me. Because honestly, Debo's our best player on offense. So if he goes, the offense goes. So I would save that in, a fourth quarter of a game, a game-winning drive kind of situation, more so than just, first quarter, second quarter kind of thing. I mean, we need to just get to the traditional kind of running. Jeff Wilson should have more carries. I'd love to see the other backs get more carries too. So, yeah, I don't love it.
All right. Now, Tony, I got a question for you, man. We're talking about what we need to do to right this ship here, man. How do we do this? Are you concerned about the way the offense is looking? Is it weird to you guys that here we are 7 years later, we hire Kyle Shanahan to be this offensive genius, and the offense doesn't seem to be doing anything close to what it was doing in Atlanta? We haven't seen that with any consistency except for 1 year, and that was 2019. What are your thoughts on the offense so far, and how do we fix this starting with this second half?
Well, he's got to come out and run the ball and establish the passing game. He's got to run the ball and make – Jimmy Garoppolo is a system quarterback. He's not a quarterback that can take the ball, drop back 35, 40 times, put it on his shoulders, and win you a game. We know that. This is why the 49ers took 3 first-rounders and traded up for Trey Lance, right? So all the Jimmy fans and stands, whatever you want to call yourselves, you're saying Jimmy's this, he wins. No, Kyle's struggling right now because he has to scheme an offense to get throws open for Jimmy, okay? This is the issue. You're asking me why. You asking why am I defending him? Why am I sticking up for him? Well, when you have to take your best player and try to run him off tackle on creative designs to get to the edge, to get the linebackers to step up, to create the opening behind them on a play future in the future part of the game, because that's what Chris Hansen. You can say I'm wrong till you turn fucking blue in the face. I don't give a shit. This is my opinion. Okay, it's flat out evident. If you know football, this is why Kyle's struggling, because he hasn't had a fucking quarterback here that can make elementary throws. It's a broken record. Yes, I'm happy Jimmy's here and Nate Sudfeld's not the quarterback, but guess what? This is what happens when you bring Jimmy back to the equation. The offense bogs down. After the first 15 to 18 plays, they shit the bed. That's Kyle's fault? That's Kyle's fault. No.
Maybe he should script the first 60 plays, Tony. Shit.
Script the whole game.
Right. Yeah. Have everything scripted from start to finish. Just know how everything is going to go. All right. Now, we got a couple of super chats here that we need to get to. I'm going to read it. Mariah, I want you to reply to the first one. We pop you up there where Tony is. All right. Left Coast Mana, thank you so much. Airplane Mode says, Debo get leg injury. His Friday playback in. Run up the middle for Debo. Oh, his first playback in was run Debo up the middle. Shanahan is tripping. We all had some comments for it on the Patreon. Mariah, what were your thoughts when you saw that happen?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's horrible mismanagement of your best player on the football field. Like, we almost just lost him. We were talking about, well, if we lose Debo, this could very well be the season because he's the playmaker of this team, right? Yet, we're so excited we see him back in the game, and then his first play, let's run him up how, we just lost our quarterback, and let's, have him take unnecessary hits. Yeah, it's not good.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Airplane Mode, thank you for the super chat. Antonio Seabrook, He says here, I'm going to give this one to Mike. He says, we need to stop running Debo so much, get other backs the ball, and involve Kittle more. Kittle has 2 receptions for 20 total yards here, guys. We don't have a carry for Mason. We haven't even seen Mac touch the field here. And like I said before, Jeff Wilson is averaging 6.9 yards a carry. I don't care if one of them was a big one. Jeff Wilson was running the ball effectively, regardless of how you feel about it. Mike, what say you to this super chat from Antonio Seabrook?
I mean, I completely agree. Though from what we've seen, I think it's more likely that Kittle gets more involved than the other backs. For whatever reason, Kyle doesn't seem to trust them as much. But yeah, definitely I want to see more Jeff Wilson than Debo in the backfield and Kittle for sure. Because we could attack the middle with the tight end. So, yeah, that's how I'd start the second half, honestly.
Yeah, now we come back out on defense, and we got to see how much we can contain these guys. Tony, here's the last super chat that I saw. There might be more, but I have to get back to it. Let Jordan Mason run the ball. Tony, he did come in for the one play, but then he split out wide. We saw him pick up a blitzer. I don't know if they did that so that way he didn't have to concentrate on picking up the blitz, but they put him right in front of the extra pressure that was coming in out of their 3-4 front here. What do you think? You think it's time that we see Jordan Mason get a carry for once in his career?
I mean, I would say, yeah. Why'd you keep him on the roster? Right?
Okay. All right. Short and sweet. I thought you were going to have a little bit more of a detailed breakdown there, but that's cool. I like it.
I mean, Mike, they have to get another running back going. So even if it's not in this game, they got to get somebody else to step up other than Jeff Wilson and Debo. So
right. Well,
the time is now. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were alluding to that when you were responding to the previous comment. You know, like, come on, like, get these guys involved here. We got about 2 minutes before they're back, so let's try to wrap this thing up here, guys. There are some positives to take away from it. The defense is doing a phenomenal job out there. Special teams is having ups and downs. The return game is not so much, but the punt game and the coverage units, man, that play by Womack there and the long snapper, Peppers, to cover that ball right there inside the 1. I mean, phenomenal play from the special teams. And we haven't even mentioned our rookie second-round pick got his first sack in the game, guys. His first sack in the NFL. What do you guys think about the special teams, the defense, and how do you think this game shakes out? Do we win? Let's do a round robin. We're going to start with Mike. We'll go to Mariah, and then we'll end it with Tony. Talk about the defense, what you want to see from them, and then we'll tell us if you think we can pull this one out.
From the defense, I just want to see what, for them to continue what they're doing. I mean, they're containing pretty well. There's a couple plays that, they gave a little bit of space, but for the most part, they're pretty much locking them down. So a little bit more pressure. I'd like to see a little bit more action from Bosa if possible, get Russell on his back. But the special teams, that's probably the play of the game, honestly. The first half, that punt was ridiculous. And I think we'll win. As long as we keep, let's keep it to the basics, nothing crazy. Let's get back to the run game. Let's not have Jimmy throw it as much in the second half and just get it done and get out of there. That's it.
Yeah, the game's back on, so I'll go fast. Defense is playing awesome. Hafunga's playing lights out. As long as they keep doing what they're doing, I think that we'll pull this one out as well.
All right, Tony, can we pull this one out, bro?
They have to stop them. They have to go 3 and out. They have to put points on the board, preferably a touchdown. If not, and they keep Russell Wilson hanging around, they're going to lose this game.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here. We appreciate you guys. Head on over to the link right below, patreon.com/MB Niners. We'll see you guys over there.
They just called the fuck. You got to be